Hey there, NASCAR fans. Tyler Digger 2020 Productions here. And this week I'm going to be doing something really special for you guys. Look, because we're celebrating 75 years of NASCAR, I have decided that starting today, I will be going over the entire list of the 75 greatest drivers of all time. Here's how this is going to work, folks. I'm going to split this up into 3 parts over the course of 3 days, ladies and gentlemen. And for those next 3 days, I'm going to be doing 25 drivers at a time, alright? So this means that starting today and tomorrow, I will cover the original 50. And then on Sunday, which is Mother's Day, I will cover the newest drivers that made the list. All this will lead up to the greatest countdown show ever, happening this Sunday night at 7 p.m. on FS1. Enough small talk, folks. Let's begin with part 1 of the original 50 right now. We begin with Bobby Allison, who won the Cup Series championship in 1983. He's also a 2-time Modified Division champion and 2-time Modified Special Division champion. Next we have Davey Allison, who was Rookie of the Year in 1987. He won 19 races over the course of his career, then passed away in 1993. Buck Baker is up next. He was the first ever driver to win consecutive NASCAR Cup Series titles, 1956 and 1957. Next is Buddy Baker, winner of the 1980 Daytona 500. Now we have Jeff Bodine, who was Rookie of the Year in 1982. He also won the 1986 Daytona 500. Next is Neil Bonnet, a 2-time Coca-Cola 600 winner who passed away in 1994. Moving on now to Red Byron, NASCAR's first ever champion in 1948. He was also the first ever Cup Series champion a year later. Up next, Jerry Cook, a 6-time Whelen Modified Tour champion. Now we have the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt Sr., who was Rookie of the Year in 1979. He's the first of 3 7-time champions this week, ladies and gentlemen. He won the 1998 Daytona 500, then passed away in that same race 3 years later. Up next, Ralph Earnhardt, who won the Sportsman Championship in 1956. Now we have Bill Elliott, also known as Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. He won the Cup Series Championship in 1988, ladies and gentlemen. Now here's Richie Evans, 9-time Whelen Modified Tour champion and a king of modified racing. Red Farmer is up next. He won the Whelen Modified Tour Championship in 1956. He's also a 3-time late model sportsman champion. Next is Tim Flock, a 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion in 1952 and 1955. Next is AJ Foyt, the only driver to win the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 500, the 24 Hours of Daytona, and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Moving on now to Harry Gant, who won 4 consecutive Cup Series races in September of 1991. His nickname was Mr. September, ladies and gentlemen. Here's one of my favorites from when I was a kid, Jeff Gordon. He was Rookie of the Year in 1993, and he's a 4-time Cup Series champion who still works for Rick Hendrick. Speaking of Hendrick, up next is Ray Hendrick, one of NASCAR's top 10 Modified Series drivers of all time. Jack Ingram is up next. He is a 5-time Xfinity Series champion, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on now to Swervin' Ernie Irvan, who won the Daytona 500 in 1991. Here's Bobby Isaac, who won the Cup Series championship in 1970. Now we have Dale Jarrett, who won the Cup Series championship in 1999. He's also won major races like the Daytona 500, the Brickyard 400, and the Coca-Cola 600. Now we have gentleman Ned Jarrett, two-time Cup Series champion in 1961 and 1965. Here's the last American hero, Junior Johnson, who won 6 Cup Series championships as a team owner. And the last one for part 1, Alan Kulwicki, who was Rookie of the Year in 1986, then a Cup Series champion 6 years later. Most of all, he was best known for doing a Polish victory lap whenever he won a race. He passed away in 1993. And that will do it for part 1 of the 75 greatest drivers of all time, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow I will do part 2 of the original 50. I gotta watch some truck and Xfinity qualifying fairly soon. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and hey, if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe to my channel. And also, if you guys are new here, just click on that notification bell and never ever miss a single upload. Bye-bye everybody, and until next time, this has been Tyler Digger 2020 Productions, signing off.